Do your own research and due diligence before investing in any company. The information I provide is in no way or manner a professional suggestion to purchase shares in any publicly traded company. I am not licensed to provide financial advice, and this should be considered entertainment. These stock profiles are intended to be trading ideas, a starting point for research. Any individual who chooses to invest in any securities should do so with caution. Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk. You may lose some or all the money that is invested. Always research your own investments and consider consulting with a registered investment advisor or a licensed stockbroker before investing.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the building. Ladies and gentlemen. Make sure I'm getting my feed in here, right? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the building. What's going on, everybody? Let me make sure everything is up and on the up and up. Y'all hear me loud and clear here? I just want to make sure everybody hears me loud and clear. Let me see here. There we go. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for the next 2 hours. I've got your attention. And we're going to talk about penny stocks, man. The last 2 trading days have been awesome, man. The last 2 trading days have been really, really good. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Sal, man. Today is November 14th, 2016. What's going on, Stock Diva? New people, old people. Thank you to all the new listeners and old listeners. Let's get the show started here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the show started. And just want to make sure everybody can hear me clearly. What's going on, Stock Diva? Okay, so let me see. I feel like my sound, like my microphone ain't on. Let me make sure this, guys. Does it sound like I sound far away? Let me see here. All right, this sounds a little bit better. Didn't I sound like a little bit far away? I think this is better now. All right. What's going on, Joe Flores? All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and get to it, folks. And, you know, we got to talk about this stock that's up almost 80% in the last 2 days alone, and that is MJNA. I know a lot of you guys held on to your shares. A lot of you guys held on to your shares from last week. And, you know, you're recovering. You're significantly recovering. Now, most of you guys are still up significantly. If you got in before the beginning of November, obviously you watched it soar and then, you know, jump off a cliff over there at 24. But so far, so good. So far, so good. You know, not everybody can catch a bottom like that. You know, what happened on Friday. But for those of people who did, they're up significantly. I mean, you're almost doubled your money. And chances are you will double your money by the end of the week. We are approaching that 14-cent wall. We are approaching that 14-cent wall right here. I'm going to say 1460.1460. But I'm not too concerned. I'm not too concerned. I think we're right there. I think we're going to break through it, and we're going to break through it very, very strong. As you can see here, this is my 200-day moving average. Obviously, you know, on the 1-year chart, it's going to look a lot different. All right, it's going to look a lot different. But obviously, you know, on the penny stock, I'm not going to use the 1-year chart, right? You're going to stay very, very close. I mean, maybe a month, but if, you know, other than that, you know, we know that a lot of these stocks are promoted. You know, they're just going through some hype situations right now, and these trends can break really quickly. So a 1-year chart will do us no good. It will do us no good. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, dry's making people rich, but dry's is cooling down a little bit. It's so funny you talked about dry's. But 215%, man. This was a stock. It's so interesting, man. This was a stock that I remember talking about on this show. I remember talking about, yeah. I mean, like at this point, when you start seeing shit like this, you just throw everything at it. You just kind of throw everything at it. At this point, it's just, what can you say to this? What can you say to this? And again, I really hope you guys are using the indicators that I put out with that last video. That you got to use that 20 and that 30 day for short-term periods, because you're able to see, obviously when the green line is on top, and of course some people use different color lines. I'm using a green line to represent the shortest time period, that the pressure, right, buying pressure over this short-term period is significantly stronger than over the longer-term period, which is the 20-day line. And it works if you use a 30 or 50. I mean, it's just basically you just want to be able to track that the short-term buying pressure is greater than, previous periods. All right? And it's just hugging the line so beautifully. And, 215%. I was thinking that this was going to get, halted, because NASDAQ typically, the SEC really doesn't like shit like this. They're not really big on having stocks run this aggressively. They really aren't. Let me see. I don't know why my mic feels like it's. You guys are saying my sound is good, right? I don't know why I feel like my mic is not up to par, or I feel like it's far. But anyway, I just feel like, how far can this keep going? $42? $42? I mean, a week ago we were talking about a $3 stock. A $3 stock. Okay, appreciate that, Tom G. I don't even want to do the math on it. I mean, what is that, like 400? That's got to be a couple, like 700%, something ridiculous like that. Something ridiculous like that. And that's why you use moving average lines, because as long as they're maintaining the distance away from the 200, right? So, you can see here, just launched off. I mean, just basically lift off. Although, I mean, if you had rode it up to 16, I would have gotten scared when it came back to 13. Yeah, that probably would have scared me out right there. Losing $3 a share. Because then, I mean, oh, shit, I've been in since 4. I just lost $3 a share. Let me go ahead and cash out. And then, obviously, you would go ahead and set a nice little horizontal line here. And then after you broke the high, you would have jumped on and kept going. All right. And then every time you just kept going all the way up. But this is insane, man. This is insane. All right. Already doubled my little $500. I didn't know how far, people say, may put more, but I didn't know how far it would go, dude. I didn't know how far it would go. Of course, looking back, I would throw in 1,000. I would throw in 10,000, 15,000 if I knew that. But at the end of the day, you don't know. So you when a stock is running that aggressively, you just throw in what you're willing to lose, right? Just throw in what you're willing to lose. When you see a stock like that intraday, you just throw in what you're willing to lose. What's going on, Bruce Cole? Jorge? Three Hooks, what's going on? Abdullah Arida, what's going on, bro? Joel Flores, as always. TR Code Kirby. All right. All the old people, new people. Travi. Michael B, what's good? Job Warrior, Cruz Cuts, Bat Scientist. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to all the people on the show. And ladies and gentlemen, I got a really good indicator I'm working on right now, man. I've been tweaking on it. I think you guys are going to love it, man. I think you guys are going to love it. It's called the CCI indicator. and I'm tweaking it. I'm still working it. This doesn't look like how it looks when you put it on your screen. It doesn't look anything like this. But I'm messing around with it, and it is a wonderful, wonderful indicator so far. All right, so far. Here's the zero line, and basically anything above the zero line is buying pressure. Anything below, it's selling pressure. So if it goes into below the zero line, then expect selling pressure. As long as the line stays above the zero line, there's buying pressure. It's a beautiful indicator. I'm working on it. I'm going to let you guys know my parameters once I really start, can certify, because I'm only going to put it out there once 70% of all the orders are right. Then I'll put it out there. At least 70%. At least 70%. But this is a tweak. This is not how the indicator looks when you put it on. This is a tweak. All right. But really, really nice. Really nice. Yeah, the CCI. Yeah, the CCI is very nice. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I've gotten it to a point where I'm talking like 80% of the trades, man, they're like right on the money, dude. As soon as it drops into the zero, boom, I know it's time to sell, or I know it's time to buy. Treasure Hunter, man, it's been a minute. What's good, man?
Not much, Sal. Not much, man. Been doing quite a bit of shopping lately.
Yes,
the market been quite well to me.
Okay.
How about yourself?
Doing good, man. Doing very, very good. I mean, I love these OTCs. They're running, and as long as they're running, I'm happy. You already know how it goes.
I definitely hear that one, brother. Definitely hear that one for you. Well, I got let me see. I got one. One of my, I love those expensive plays and all that kind of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. One of my super expensive plays. I think if don't quote me on it, but I think it went down to, for was it a stock split or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
And then when it did that, everybody, including myself, loaded the fuck up on it, and then the thing like skyrocketed back to the roof. So then they what do you call it? When they hold it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call it?
Well, let me know the ticker you're talking about right now.
If you just did. All right. Well, man, I'm telling you, I'm making a fortune on it. Now I see how Connor feels when he make that $7,000-8,000.
Okay, all right. So let me know what the ticker to this thing is, man.
Okay. And I think it's still going also. DRYS.
Oh, okay, all right, yes, okay, yeah. So I mean, that's we've been talking about that now for a minute. Yeah, DRYS is the play. I mean, you rarely get an opportunity like this, and it does happen. It does happen. Every about 7 or 8 months. It was SAEX earlier this summer. Now it's Dries. Every 6 or 7 months or so, you'll get a stock that just will do something ridiculous like this. And Dries is that stock in the moment right now.
Oh man, bro, I'm telling you, I got into it last week sometime, and I know you was off the air for. I think you might have been off there for.
Yeah, I was.
All right, yeah, I got in last week sometime, and then was it Friday? I was too shit-faced to even call the show, but I was like, I figured that it might have crashed today, man, and I was like, man, let me just see what it does.
Yeah.
And before I sell out, and man, I don't know what the fuck happened, but man, it just kept like going and going and going.
I was thinking that this was going to get halted, man. That's why I was so.
It did. It got halted Friday. What was that? Thursday
of last
Friday.
week, though, right?
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, okay, last week, but it didn't get halted today, though.
No, I don't think it did.
I don't think so. I don't think that's. I was looking for the stock to be halted today after it passed 100%. I'm like, okay, they're about to shut this down, and they didn't.
Well, you remember, if it's good calendar or whatever, good news on it, they're going to keep it running.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think it's going to keep running?
Man, I who knows? I mean, my thing is just watch the indicators, and be very careful of any possible weakness in the stock. Now, so far, I don't see that because I still see lower highs developing. in the stock. And, look, people are going to come home to, people who were sideways on the stock last week and looking for a crash today. They didn't get it. So they're going to jump in tomorrow because they're going to say, okay, now it's the real deal. This could probably go higher.
Yeah, I know. Shit, I was like eight something last week. And then, like I said, I was like, shit, what?
Yeah.
Man, I almost, flipped out backwards. Like, man, I can't wait to call your show, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, you gonna get any of this action or what?
No, I'm in it. I'm in it right now. I've already doubled my money. Yeah, I've already doubled my money and everything. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I was one of those people who was like, I don't know, blah blah blah. But I saw it today.
Yeah, now you're learning. Now you learn to throw that money and let it ride.
Just let it ride and just ride the
Hell
chart.
Yeah, bro.
I'm starting to become, and that's the thing is because it's not in my style to do that. You know what I'm saying? I like to do my research. I like to look at the books.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? But I see this is the way, to make money in a play like this.
Yep. Sal, your show, if there was in it since day one, everybody's style starting to blend in. Like we started to make our create some kind of new style, bro. If you notice it, now I'm starting to be more like your way. You start to be more, it sounds it's like it's like making cash over here, bro.
We're learning from each other, man. That's the thing. Is everybody's taking a little bit of piece of each other and then working to make everybody better, and that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah. Bro, I can't even, I'm not even going to say how much I made, and God knows what you put in that shit. You probably put like about 20 grand in that ball.
Man, I put $500 in that thing. I didn't know how far it was going to go. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? My money right now is in MJNA because that thing is just beautiful right now, and there's just no doubt about where, those returns, how long those returns are going to keep coming, and I believe that we got another multiple-day run in MJNA ahead of us. And
I sold out of one of my replays for the investment into this DRYS, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
much power to y'all. I hope it keeps running. I mean, it's been easy cash for so many people. So we'll see.
I was afraid because I figured some people might have got stuck up there real high when that bitch dropped to $4 or something. Now the man is going to be like, it's going to really crash.
Oh, well, it will crash. I mean, the crash is going to be really ugly on this, and
couldn't imagine.
I can't even imagine how it's going to look, but it's going to be just really ugly. But I mean, enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy it while it lasts.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. But
I definitely don't doubt that those stops are real tight on this stock.
Bro, we keep finding stocks like this. We're going to be millionaires before you know it. You know what I'm talking about?
There it is.
Shit, yeah, man. But, hey, hold on. Before we go, what do your indicators say on this in particular play right here?
Well, right now, it's still looking very strong, man. I mean, right now, it's looking really, really strong. Buying pressure is still there. And, so far, so good. And, it's still looking very, very, very strong. Even I'm playing with another indicator here where it uses colored bars to determine buying pressure in the stock. And so far, man, just nothing but green. Nothing but green.
What? Hell yeah. Ride this bitch out for a week, bro.
Yeah.
I'd take another nice little boat trip.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah. All righty, man. I'm going to sit back and enjoy the show. Well, hold on. It was another one I wanted to... another one I wanted to mention, but it was like a Nova. I wrote it for a little minute, but sort of towards the day, kind of gave back its gains. RETA.
RETA.
Yes, sir.
Rita Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, man, I thought it was going to be another one of these DRYS, bro, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, fuck, let me cash out, but I'm still in it.
Yeah, but it had a really good, not bad of a day today. Higher price stock, though, not necessarily my thing.
Oh, that's right.
Obviously,
but my kind of stuff.
But, if it works for you, no bad.
Yeah, I got it for a little bit. I don't know, I might cash him out and just see what this other one's going to do.
Yeah.
All right, man. So we'll see what this DRYS is, and sit back and talk about it tomorrow. Is it going to make us more money, or we're going to sit back and call it straight booty and flush it?
We'll see what happens, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for the call, Treasure Hunter.
You got it, bro.
Yes, indeed. That was Treasure Hunter. And shout out to him. Shout out to him. You know, because that is an awesome opportunity there. And you know, dries, man, that's just, that doesn't happen too often right there. That doesn't happen too often, and you know, shout out to him for that. Shout out to him for that. Gregory Hall, QTM. You must be in this heavy, Gregory Hall, because you are all talking about QTM, QTM, QTM. You must like this. Obviously, as you can see here, somebody was asking me what the indicator is. This indicator is called colored volume bars, and it's by a guy on TradingView, and available to anybody who has the TradingView or who uses TradingView. And basically, what he did was colored the bars. And again, you can code your own indicator. You can create your own indicator, but basically, he created an indicator using volume bars that will be able to dictate buying and selling pressure. So heavy buying pressure is dark green. And then obviously from dark green, heavy buying to, dark red, which is selling. And then of course in between you have the light, the light to dark blue, then the brown, then of course the red. But when you look at QTM, I mean, it was looking really nice. But now things are starting to look a little bit bearish in QTM toward the end. But that was toward the end of the day. I think maybe a 5-day chart would look better on it. So, yeah, it looks, not bad for 5 days. All right. Obviously, this is a stock that you're going to want to hold for a little bit. As you saw, that daily chart looks a little bit So this is definitely a stock that looks like over time works in your favor. Let me go out a little bit further with the 1 month. All right. The 1 month shows it was bearish for quite a bit toward the end of the month. Finally crossing over the 200 MA, and it looking not too bad. But this is definitely a stock. It looks like you got to hold for a couple of days for you to finally, see a real return up there. All right, got some resistance up there at 88, but resistance eventually turns into support, and if it holds up, man, it could be something really nice. All right, could be something really nice. What's going on, Cruise Cuts? NECA. New American Energy Corp. All right, so it's just one of those. Okay, it's a triple that's basically running right now. All right. Yeah, Craig G. I'm gonna let you guys know the settings soon. I'm gonna let people know the settings soon on it. UAMM. UA Multimedia Company, 0024, 33% gain. Decent volume actually coming out of this, man. Bounced off the 200 there, and not too bad. I would want to know a little bit more about this company. If you know anything more about it, let me know. I don't like the fact that it's out of compliance, though, man. It's got to get its paperwork right here. I see it hasn't posted any OTC financials. It hasn't posted any financials since 2015. All right, that's not cool. That's not cool. All right, and obviously, no updated financials for almost 2 years now. We don't know where the company is in terms of financial wise, whether or not they even still have any money. All right, market value of only $730,000, but volume is very strong, which leads me to believe this company is being promoted right now. I don't know who could be promoting it. I don't know why. Looks like this company is a technology company that provides website and mobile app solutions using modern web technology and social media. We also provide information and marketing services to companies in the medical marijuana business. Okay. So that's where you see why they're running. That's why you see why they're running. All right. Website's real basic, but and let me put that in the chat room for the people who might be interested in that. Yeah, I mean, it's sketchy as hell. That's the website for the stock. It's sketchy as hell, but, I don't know. Obviously, somebody's in there, and this has been a beautiful return for somebody. I mean, look at that. You were in this 0003, now, 0024. It's looking really, really nice for you. All right, it's looking really nice for you. So just don't be a bag holder. Just be very careful. Don't be a bag holder. All right. That reminds me, this company really reminds me of another stock that's slowly waking up. That's kind of like marijuana related. Let me see here. The ticker is MJLB. MJLB. And MJLB is just starting to kind of wake up. It was a company that ran way back when. Let me see here. I got to spread it out a little bit. All right. Okay. I guess not. Yeah, it's very ugly. I mean, the chart's not pretty. The chart's not the prettiest thing ever. Chart's not the prettiest thing ever. Yeah, look how ugly that is. But just we'll see. We'll see what happens to it. But I do know it's being pushed from somewhere, somehow, somewhere. I don't know. But right now, it's supposedly a marijuana or cannabis related business. All right. I'll be watching that one. Signal Bay. Let me see here. Signal Bay. 6% day in Signal Bay today. I mean, what's going on in Signal Bay? All right, sideways day for that stock today. It wasn't that bad. I mean, I wouldn't call it a bad day for the stock. Just, you get so used to stocks putting up 30, 40%, and it kind of surprises you when they don't deliver at that level. It kind of surprises you when they don't deliver. Mag 369 is called colored volume bars. Colored volume bars. Colored volume bars. All right. Measures intensity of buying and selling pressure. Yes, indeed. I'm going to put that on the list, though. I still think SGBY. And it's so funny because I got an email from a lady, and, this isn't somebody who would usually, be in our chat room. I mean, she was probably married. I think she had children, early 40s. And she sent me a message saying that one of her girlfriends or whatever bought SGBY, and I guess it's the stock to hold forever. And, basically that. So SGBY has slowly been working its way into some different kind of circles. So that leads me to believe, I don't know if maybe there's some mailers being sent out or what. But SGBY is I'm going to be watching that because I think we could be seeing some new buying in SGBY relatively soon. So yeah, this crossing over this 200 moving average last week was a really interesting sign. So we'll see if the stock bounces off that and continues to move, or it fails and moves back underneath the 200-day moving average line, which is the strong yellow line there. Okay, we'll see. Yeah, so for those of you guys who want to know, I've got the 200 and then the 10 and the 20 up. All right, because I'm looking for where the short-term, pressure is. Obviously, as you can see here, very negative, bearish sign for SFOR. And until it breaks that 200, man, until it breaks that 200, I wouldn't buy this. I wouldn't buy this. This is very, very bearish. All right, because you see how this is a stock that when it breaks higher, it breaks over that 200-day moving average, that's when it really starts to do some things. All right. And that's why I'm working on that CCI indicator, man, because this is, something that would be able to help you determine where the buying and selling pressure is as we move toward the line here. Let me see if it would have told you that. See, it would have been able to tell you. Obviously, this is the zero line here. As you would have crossed below that, you would have seen, okay, there's some negative pressure going on in here. Maybe it's time for me to get out. And you would have been confirmed as it crossed into the, below the zero line. So I'm still working on that indicator. This is not how the indicator shows up when you post it. But I just want to give you guys a lot of sneak peeks because it works very, very well. Obviously, as he crosses above the zero line, that notifies you of buying pressure. So, right? So you want to get in on the stock as it goes above. You can get faked out, though. You can get faked out. All right? But as it goes above the zero line, that you want to buy that. And it stayed above the zero line. And you would have been positive. Very nice. This would have been a very nice trade. And you would have been, it would have been your job to, of course, wanted to get out at this angle right here when the 10 moved underneath the 20. Indicators are so helpful, man. Indicators are so helpful. Because, just to show you, see here, obviously the indicator is not perfect because the 10-day moved below the 20, but the indicator didn't move below the 0. So you would have thought that there's still a lot of green left over, but the 10 caught it. The 10 caught it. Said, there's selling going on here. So this would have been another way for you to be able to say, okay, no, my 10 days underneath my 20, I need to get out. So this is where the indicator failed. All right, so nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. He said the plain old MACD is never wrong. I don't know about that. Yeah, well, it depends. It depends. Depends. I think if we looked hard enough, we can see some we can find some parts where the the stock failed. Somebody talked about Kroger. I'm not sure why consumer goods are running. I'm not really sure why consumer is running so hard today. Kroger up 30. This is a very expensive stock. Who brought up Kroger? Devin Miller. Devin, unless maybe you're a millionaire and you got 1,000 shares of this, or 10,000, or 1,000,000 shares of this, my man, if you've got less than $5,000, or you've got less than $20,000, honestly, if you've got less than $50,000, you really shouldn't be playing with stocks like this. You can get a lot of bang for your buck playing stocks under $10 a share. A lot more bang for your buck. Probably even better, if you stick to under $1. It's a lot more risky, but better returns. All right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. 914, you're on the air.
Hello, Sam. How you doing? This is Logic Trader. How are you?
All right. What's going on, man?
Good, thanks. I've been following your show. Good job, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I called, I think, last week regarding Facebook. And we spoke about it when it was at 120.
Yeah.
And I was just looking at my indicators. I, too, follow the 200, and it's a powerful moving average.
Yeah.
And now I'm seeing a bottoming tail bar. So at this point, I think we should just look for a confirmation because Apple doesn't go too far down from the 200 moving average. Once that happens, it's a buying opportunity. So I just wanted to bring your attention to that.
Yeah, I mean, but, that bounce that we expected last week didn't happen. I mean, it did move higher a little bit, but it still didn't break, where it fell off.
It gained 4 points from there. I mean, we went up to 124, then it dropped down. But my thing is, as a strong stock like that, it doesn't go below the 200 moving average often. So I'm not saying to buy it at this point. What I'm saying is for us to maybe look for a confirmation that it's going to go back up. Because last time it went under the 200 period moving average was in January.
Right.
right? So if you look at it, it hasn't touched the 200 moving average since. So
That's correct.
any confirmation from that point on is a buy, I believe. Okay, and I also saw the indication that you spoke about. There's an indication that's very similar to that, and once it's at a 45-degree angle, it's a buy. It's called the unbalanced volume. I don't know if you're aware of that one. It's
OBV, I
OBV, correct. Correct. But thank you for all the information. I just wanted to at least put FB on watch for now.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the call, man.
All right, thank you, Sal.
Yeah, shout out to Logic Trader right there. It's going to be a good trade. It's going to be a good trade when it does turn around. But again, I've been using this new indicator on the colored volume bars, and again, like every indicator that people make on TradingView isn't good. But I know the person who made this, his indicators are really, really good. But as you can see here, it's just still a lot of selling, man. There's still a lot of selling in Facebook right now, and this is obviously a very expensive stock. So I'm kind of like talking to my option traders now. I mean, the puts in this have gone up. I mean, you've pretty much doubled your money since last week. Actually, tripled your money depending on what day, what strike price you've tripled your money. All right, you've almost tripled your money. There are guys who are up 400, 500% on Facebook puts since last week, and it's really since the end of last month. All right, so things could turn around for the stock. When he talks about confirmation, whether or not we're going back higher, with the 20 still under, still on top of the 10, I don't see where that confirmation could be coming at. I don't see where that confirmation could be coming at. I don't see it. And we're still, my CCI is still under the 0, so we still got significant selling pressure. All right, and it's confirmed with every indicator. We're under the 200. All right, we're under the 20, under the 10. And we've got significant, selling taking place. So we'll have to see whether or not, this could turn around. And I think a turnaround looks like some good news. I think that's what the turnaround looks like. I don't think it's just people figuring out that it's time to, okay, all right, this is getting ridiculous. It's time to buy. Because we're still at a very, pretty high PE. All right. And there was an article released recently talking about the death of high PE. I don't believe that. I think you're still, if you're an internet stock, you're still going to always trade at a ridiculous PE. But I think Facebook needs now like some good news. They need some really good news right now. All right. Again, that's from my option people. All right. Yes, indeed. What's going on, Patrick Roberts? BIOS. What's BIOS? Bioscript. Interesting. What is this company about? All right. Okay. So obviously this is one that doesn't really do much. I can see here it's very illiquid. Well, actually, it's typically very illiquid. I had a strong day today. I don't know where that volume's coming from, but typically very illiquid. So I wouldn't fuck with that. I mean, I think there are just much better opportunities everywhere. Paragon Shipping. It's so interesting because Paragon Shipping, this was a stock that hasn't released news in a while, but yeah, it did take off today. And again, it's so crazy because, all over OTC markets, there's a country song that talks about how like there's a party somewhere or something like that. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. There we go. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Right. So that's the excuse to get something to drink. You know what I mean? When it comes to OTC stocks, there's always an opportunity for you to get 150, 100%, 200% on the stock. But you're just never going to hear about it. And this was the situation with PRGNF, where you had dries running, you had MJNA, you had some other little pennies running like crazy. PRGNF ran insane, but for the most part, the chat rooms were pretty quiet on the stock. The chat rooms were pretty quiet. All right. Yeah, I mean, this stock was running, but it was all about dries today. It was all about dries. Although this is the poor man's dries right here, though, folks. Don't get it twisted. This is the poor man's dries. Now, obviously, I'm not going to say this tomorrow. This stock is going to go up to 50 cents, although that would be nice. And I'm not going to say that it's not going to be possible, because it very well could. But this is the poor man's dries. This is the poor man's dries right now. You don't have, $1,000 to throw into dries, right? So $1,000 now in dries would get you maybe 100 shares? Maybe a little bit more than that, probably. A little bit more than that. But not a lot, right? Not what it could have got you, a week and a half ago. Maybe you would, and you're willing to lose it all? PRGNF could be that trade for you. That could be the trade tomorrow where it's like, okay, fuck it, let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Because it's not running on any news. It's not running on any news for all I know. And if anybody does have news on why PRGNF is running, please let me know. Other than that, I don't believe any news is running this thing. Okay? I don't believe any news at all is running this stock. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, on the markets, it looks like a lot of stocks, the commodities are bouncing back today. Obviously, as you know, the commodities took a really big hit today. It was a big hit on a lot of commodities. A lot of commodity-based stocks took a hit today. As the price of gold kind of dipped lower. When we talk about the, the ETFs anyway. I'm still watching TGD, by the way. I'm still waiting for this to take off here. And I wanted to bring this to you guys' attention too. TGD looking like it's about to cross the 200 and make a run for it. I think you guys need to pay attention to the stock right now. Okay? I think you guys need to pay attention to this stock. I wanted to bring it to your attention because I think there's some money to be made here on this turnaround situation in TGD. All right. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Bad Scientist. You said it was a sympathy play for shipping. Well, let's see if it continues running. Let's see if it continues running. Jackson Haber. Yeah, we talked about dries. We understand dries is running. And as you see, guys, of course, if you got a stock, the call-in numbers on the screen. But TGD, guys, watch that because gold is up right now. Gold is up 6% right now. Gold is up 6% right now, so that's very, very good for these small companies. All right, gold is up 6% right now, and coincidentally, the stock was up 6% today. Obviously, just 2 cents a share for the stock, but looking to see TGD hopefully turn around and, really nice breakthrough, late. It came very, very late in the day. I was watching that. It came very late in the day, but we had a big order come in and really just kind of take it off. So obviously we need to see some more volume come into the stock, but turnaround situation there in TGD, and this could be a situation where the stock has reached bottom and we're looking to come up out of that. All right. It's been quite bearish recently too, if I'm right on that. In fact, let me look at the 1 month chart here. As you can see, it's been quite bearish. Obviously, on the 1 month chart, we're way underneath the 200 on the 1 month. But the 5-day looks a lot more promising. And I think it could be, a situation where we'll see. That 10-day moving above the red. All right, look to see hopefully some green, some buying coming into that stock in the 1 month chart. Hopefully we start seeing that soon. But other than that, We'll see. We will see. ERBB. Yeah, so you guys love ERBB. ERBB, this is the marijuana vending machine company, right? So this is the marijuana vending machine company. Of course, you can add them on Twitter, follow them. They answer all your questions if you ask too, by the way. Very, very on it when it comes to answering the questions of the people. Right? You can give them a call. They pick up. Sometimes it's like the freaking owner himself, which is pretty cool. They're young guys. And they are in it to win it, man. And, but they deal with what every small company deals with. They're undercapitalized. They don't really have cash like that right now. They're just doing the most with what they can. And the stock has been running, but a lot of stocks that did get bearish for some time. But we'll see. Last week they got back over 200, and we'll see what happens. All right. Last Friday was really interesting. Last Friday, again, we talked about a lot of, stocks, weed stocks, that Friday was such an important day. And Fridays are always a very important day for these weed plays because they really confirm whether or not the following week is going to be something that, is going to be worthwhile for investors. And this stock delivered last Friday and so far is delivering today. So good news for ERBB investors moving forward. Oh, man, don't even get me started on MSIG. Real quick, I want to see what's this Mr. Gregory Hall saying on Sing, S-I-N-G. Sing, I'm not a big fan of Sing because I don't like that dump right here today toward the end of the day there. That leads me to believe that somebody knew something and put out some information. The stock ran, and then they made their money and they got out once they realized that buying wasn't going to continue. All right. So not sure who's driving you to believe in SING, but I'm good on that. MSIG. Oh man, let's get to MSIG because MSIG, another stupid day for MSIG. And it's been a stupid, couple days for MSIG, but I digress. Last Friday was really aggressive in the stock. Again, like many other stocks, it had gotten negative for quite a while. And, obviously crossing into it, into the 200 and got very, very negative. Friday, again, like I said, was a very important day for stocks. MSIG, another weed stock that not necessarily has everything to do with weed. Not everything, but it their products that they sell, you can use cannabis with them, right? You can use cannabis with them. And if I'm correct, somebody in the chat room might know better than me, but they actually have like a reusable marijuana vapor thing, like a vapor product. I'm not confirmed on that. I'm sure somebody else knows. But again, very aggressive movement today in the morning. And this is really interesting because this, again, when you're using your indicators, you just kind of continue to confirm the price stays over the 10-day, and that 10-day moving average stays over your 20, you stay in. You stay in. That's a beautiful one-day chart, man. You really can't get better than that. And even if you don't want to jump in first thing in the morning, the very fact that you're looking at the chart and you're seeing continued, lower highs, higher highs, you can't help but want to jump in, But obviously, there are a lot of stocks running right now, and we have unlimited ways to make capital, but limited amount of capital to use. So you've got to be able to know the 2 or 3 stocks where you could probably put most of your money in, because you don't want to be spread out. You don't want to have your money all over the place because you couldn't find yourself in a situation where, when things go bad, they go bad very quickly on OTC markets. All right. But so far, not bad. Beautiful, beautiful day for MSIG. We'll hope to see that this continues into tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see here. Let me look at that. Okay, so looks like buying pressure is kind of getting a little weak, though. Buying pressure is weakening on MSIG, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. Obviously, you're going to spike up tomorrow because obviously when people come in from work, they see these huge numbers, they want to put in orders, and in the first 30 minutes, those orders coming through, they fool a lot of people. All right, those first 30 minutes, they're fund managers who tell you, hey, I don't even trade the first 30 minutes. I don't even trade the first 30 minutes, and don't get fooled into something that might not keep going up. All right, so it's not bad right now for MSIG. Not bad for MSIG at all. Okay, let me go out. So I don't want to cloud. I feel like I got so much on the screen, but I think you guys get what I'm trying to show you. I just still feel like I got too much on there. So if I'm losing, you let me know. GRLF, Greenleaf Innovations. Okay, so you want to get at the bottom of something. Greenleaf Innovations. All right, there's practically nothing here. Let's see what this is about. GRLF. All right, so 000 stock, out of compliance. No reports since June 30th of 2015. Current float, this is a 2015. Looks like a float of 4,654,887,086. That's a lot of shares out there, my man. And you're probably talking about a stock that's got a lot more. Now at 0006 though, here's the thing. I mean at 0001, that's still a large float. And don't get me wrong, you can look at SGBY or SFOR for examples of stocks with ridiculous amount of float, that still move. Now, with that being said, those stocks are in compliance with their quarterly reports. This stock isn't. So if this starts ever to get the running, you risk being halted and never really getting your money out again if you're not careful. But this doesn't even have a description. The website doesn't work. So yeah, I would stay far away from it. I mean, the website doesn't work. There's no description of it on OTC markets. And I doubt that the legal counsel it has listed to still represent the company. I really doubt that. All right. Yeah, I sincerely doubt that. Looks very sketchy. ZRZH, so funny. We talked about that last week. ZRZH, and ZRZH has been putting up some really disappointing percentages, man. ZRZH, it was promising for a time, but let me see here. Since last week, I don't know. What can you say about the stock anymore, man? I mean, when I see a chart like this, man, and again, the stock doesn't know what it's doing, and I can't tell what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? This is just, look at this, man. This is a month, right? This is about a month. This is since the 31st. Well, it's actually not a month. This is just about a week and a half or so. And I can't tell you where the stock is going. All right? I can't tell you where the stock is going. And with that being said, I don't want to play this. Now, you can say, well, if I get at the bottom, it could break out higher. Okay, but, and I like the fact that I see here was on Money TV. It was on Money TV with Donald Balaregion. And if you don't know who Balaregion is, he's just another, he's a promoter too. I would say he's a promoter. But Money TV is a syndicated show that goes only about penny stock, and it's on about 200 or so channels, and it comes on like Sunday at noon. It's kind of one of those kind of things. And they have a bunch of CEOs from penny stock companies to talk about their businesses. The thing about Money TV is that most of the companies that go on there, like a year or two later, they don't even exist, most of those companies. So very, very shady, but, we'll see. That's all we can do is we can see, man. That's all we can do. You know what I'm saying? That's all we can do. MRNJ. Let's see here. MRNJ. I think we talked about this too. Yeah, again, another, OTC, got a ton of float out there. We'll see. I understand people's desire to want to get in at 0001 because I get it. 0001 to, 0.005, that's a lot of money. I mean, that's almost 500 or so percent. I get it. I absolutely get it. But, you guys are going to have to be patient for a while, man. But if you got it in you, do the damn thing. If you got it in you. All right. And sometimes it doesn't take a while. MCOA, again, what can you say to this stock? This was a stock that, again, after the elections, like many other marijuana stocks, there was a little bit of doubt and concern about where cannabis legislation was headed. But although we haven't gotten confirmation from the Trump administration, the future Trump administration, because it really hasn't came together yet, we haven't gotten any word, and I think no word is better than a word right now. Trump hasn't said anything about, marijuana and its proliferation right now with the legalization of its use in so many different states. And I believe 2014 is going to be, not 2014, I'm talking 2014, 2018, we're going to see this on the ballot in a couple other states, because we're going to have some House seats running in a lot of states in 2 years. A lot of people don't know that. People think it's just every 2 years in America we have elections. Every 2 years, okay? Many of your House of Representatives, many state senators, depending on what state you're from. And so it's not, it's every 2 years we got to run. Every 2 years there's an election in America. And with that being said, I have read up recently, especially this week, on what Trump believes. And he's a big states' rights guy. He's a big states' rights guy. And that's cool. I'm cool with that. If you live in one of those states that's cool, that loves its people, because you got a lot of states that don't love its people. All right. You got a lot of states that don't love its people. And we can name some states down there that don't really love its people. So I'm cool with it. And I'm really cool about California and Florida. California legalizing recreational marijuana, and Florida legalizing medical marijuana, which is going to be the step necessary for recreational marijuana use. And I think they're going to see, once the money starts coming in Florida, they're not going to be able to turn away. They're not going to be able to turn it away. So I'm looking forward to it. But I'm really excited for California and what they're going to, you're going to be having people from all over the world, the Asian world in particular, and moving into medical marijuana. So shout out to all my Koreans and who's out there, Vietnamese, Filipinos, because those people, they're very entrepreneurial people. So once they start seeing that medical marijuana, that recreational marijuana money, all right, they're going to start setting up businesses and delivering quality product to people all over the state of California. And that means a lot of these weed businesses and weed companies that are publicly traded, are going to profit. They're going to profit. So I'm looking forward to it. Who said NEWC is under watch again? Craig G, NEWC? You guys know how I feel about NEWC. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of NEWC any longer. We had somebody come on the show and talk about it, and oh man, and sure enough, it just it dumped on us, and basically I think that's what that deal was. But I'm not going to go too much into that. Start getting heated up in here. Load up on gold, LODE. Today's Doji Morningstar setup confirmed. The volume is still low at 456,000. So, Bad Scientist, you're saying load up on LODE? LODE, which is at 22 cents, 8 cents a share. Yeah, it's so crazy because this looks like TGD. This looks like TGD. And, again, gold right now still looks very good. Where are we at right now with gold? We're up 4%. We're up 4% right now in gold. Well, not 4%. We're up 4 points. Excuse me. We're up 4 points in gold. We're not up even 1%, though. Not even 1%. So we're up 4 points. So I wouldn't call it a comeback, but, these little moves sometimes, can get excited investors who want, to really see some of these stocks turn around to move. All right. For example, natural gas today. Natural gas was up like 3%, and CHK did its thing. If I'm correct, I think it cooled down, but CHK did its thing. But LODE, shout out to Lode, looking like it's just now crossing that 200-day moving average there. Again, very late in the day. So I think that has something to do with how gold did toward the end of the day, start really moving aggressively. In fact, if you pull out the chart on gold, you saw that at about, about 4 o'clock. About 4 o'clock, it started to really break higher into positive territory. And sure enough, that kind of corresponds somewhat a little bit to the move in LODE. All right. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with these stocks. But I'm going to watch. I'm going to put it on the watch list. I'm definitely going to put it on the watch list along with, SGBY, MJNA, MCOA. Because, again, I know some of you guys are just jumping in these stocks intraday. You're not even holding overnight. You're basically looking for confirming patterns in the morning and then riding them out and then selling at what you believe is the high of the day. And that's smart. There's nothing against that. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome because you're still walking away with 10, 20% on your money depending on where you got out at, You may be walking away from a 30% gain on the day if you stay in the whole time, but you're happy with whatever the 20% is. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're talking about 20% on, let's say a $2,500 investment or a $3,000 trade, 20, 25% walking away with that's good money. That's a pretty good intraday trade. All right, that's a pretty good intraday trade. Yeah, we talked about TGD. Yeah, it looks very much LODE, and TGD are practically the same right now. All right, obviously LODE is the cheaper one. I like TGD better because TGD trades on the NASDAQ. And, actually, no, it doesn't. They both trade on the same exchange. I don't know why I was always thinking that TGD trades on the NASDAQ. Anyway, I would want a gold NASDAQ play. God damn, I thought that trades on the NASDAQ. It's actually in the Amex as well. Let me see a good gold NASDAQ play. I think it's BAA, but I don't like the float on BAA. I don't know, BAA is on the Amex too. And look, BAA, again, hitting that 200. Looks very much like LODE and TGD. You guys see that again? It's another stock confirming that. What else? BAA, but I don't like BAA. I'm not a fan of BAA. The float is just ridiculous for a company that small. The float is just, they need to do something about that. I'm not a big fan of BAA at all. This one I'm using right now, this is the 5-day. I use the 5-day chart and I'm spreading it out. 5 days, 5-minute chart. 5 days, 5 minutes. No, I can't use the 15-minute on the penny stock. That's terrifying. I would have to use the 5-minute. The 1 minute would drive you crazy. I don't know how people use the 1 minute chart. Unless you have something like Speed Trader or something like that. I mean, where you're going to be able to get in and out in milliseconds, and you're trading with that kind of size. The 5-minute is just fine. The 5-minute is just fine. I don't know how some guys use the 1 minute chart. That's insane. Okay. Yes, indeed. A call. Let me see here. I don't know. You got. I have seen somebody bring up ecology. Why? I mean, what makes this a buy, man? This is wow. This is ugly, dude. What makes this a buy? This looks really ugly. Nah, man. I wouldn't consider that a buy, dude. That looks ugly. That's an ugly looking chart. Bill Bet, you say you're in JNUG? Okay. All right. That's not bad yet. You know, JNUG, to go long or go short? All right. Gold up a little bit today. Not nothing scary, though. Nothing scary. And we'll see where it's at in the morning, because overnight has a tendency to make it look better than it really is. All right. It's so crazy because, Donald Trump will be, Dow 20,000. He will be able to claim Dow 20,000. And will we move 2,000 in a year? I don't see why not. In fact, I don't see why. Well, I don't know about a year, but maybe we within his presidency, we should see Dow 20,000. Do you guys agree with that? I agree with we should see at least Dow 20,000. Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe even the first year. Why not? Oh, Blueberry J. BMIX. BMIX, Brazil Minerals. What do you guys? What is this? What's up with these 0001s? Everybody, you guys are bringing up here. Like I get it. You want to be at the bottom and you don't want to lose, but I mean, you got stocks out here that are actually making money. Why do you want to have your money sitting around? I mean, I get it. Like, I totally get it. You want to be at the bottom of something, but I mean, you got stocks out here running, dude. Stocks that we talk about every single day that are running. So why, play something like this? You got stocks out here putting 20, 30% every day. So why? I don't know. Do your thing. It's your money. It's your money. I'm not going to get myself upset. It's your money. It is your money. HEMP. Hemp. Hemp was a stock that turned around again like many others on Friday. Good day for hemp today, HEMP. It's still putting up decent volume of 25 million shares traded, man, at 3 cents a share. Hemp's still doing its thing. Hemp is a old OTC, play in terms of, the marijuana sector. Hemp should be way up there. I mean, it should be like, part of one of the giants, the MJNA of the world. But, hemp seemed to have left behind. OWCP really, this used to be a high flyer. Once upon a time, OWCP was a very, high flyer. I think it was up there in the, in the high 20s. Looks like things have turned around recently for OWCP, but I wouldn't count it out just yet. I continue watching if I were you in OWCP. Sideways day today. But, this is a stock that kind of comes alive when it wants to, and when it does move very aggressively. So looks like volume really took to the downside today in the stock. It just didn't have enough buyers today. Just didn't have enough buyers to save the stock today, so sideways day for the stock. All right. TR Kobe, no, I'm not a big fan of clean coal. If you guys remember, I understand that, Trump had came out and talked about clean coal and the whole idea of clean coal, and that's why the stock really took off the day after the election, because Donald Trump was elected and Donald Trump had made coal country a priority of his election. But recently we had a ranking Republican member in the House. I forgot the guy's name. McConnell? I forgot his first name. McConnell. But I know his last name is McConnell. Made some comments to some reporters and basically called coal a private issue. Now, what that basically means is that he called it a private sector issue. There we go. He called it a private sector issue. And basically what that meant was we're not coming to save coal. All right, we're not coming to save coal. See, the problem with coal is that, one, it's dirty, it's expensive, it's very labor intensive, and the technology that's coming out right now is getting cheaper. The alternative technologies are getting cheaper, and coal, it's like, whale oil. It's gotta die. It's gotta die. It's unfortunate. It's a sad story because they're generations of men who have worked on coal. But at the end of the day, we've got to understand that 20 years from now, we're not going to be using coal. I mean, if you're going to be using coal, it's going to be very minimal, nowhere near to the extent that we used it. And we don't even use it now to the extent that we used it 50 years ago or 100 years ago. So I think coal is just a technology that's going to go by the wayside. I wouldn't even touch the stock right now. I think, coal has had its time. And obviously, if you were in before Trump, that's where you really got your bump. But I don't see where, the buying pressure is going to come from now moving forward. Because I think they're very clear that coal is not going to be the priority for the administration. I just don't. All right. Yes, Mitch McConnell. Thank you for that, bad scientist. Thank you for that, bad scientist. Bill Betts, ONCI. ONCI. And again, you can Google those comments that Mitch McConnell made on coal. He called it a private sector issue. That's very strong words for a coal country, and they were really disappointed with that. And there are a couple of articles floating out there about that. All right. ONCI, yeah, strong move there. Looks like it just broke the 200-day moving average not too long ago. So that's a longer chart, but I don't like, as you can see here, this is the intraday movement. That was 1 day, so I'm backing it up here a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. So yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan. This is a 1 month. This is the 1 month. So look, if you got the patience, this might be your thing. 1 month. Yeah, I don't know. Not my thing though. Not my thing. EGLE. This is so funny because I think bad scientists, and again, shout out to anybody who's in EGLE. This is basically like a sympathetic run right now in shipping. We have dries running insane, and companies like EGLE are, having a little bit of the oil, the overspill. All right, they're having a little bit of the overspill, and God help you when the shorters come in, because they're going to eat these stocks alive. But right now, the buyers are enjoying every moment of it, and you should. You should. That's some strong buying pressure, over the day today. And this is a 1 day chart. This is a 1 day chart. I'm using 5-minute bars. I love the 5-minute bars. Have you guys been studying that candlestick torrent? I hate some of the videos aren't like crystal clear on that, but the books inside are really good. All right, and there are a lot of little books on the torrents. But yeah, man, I mean this is really, really good stuff when you look at EGLE, which is basically, again, benefiting from all the buying in dries. But as you can see here, there are times where, buying does slow up, and you got to be a little bit careful here, man. You got to be a little bit careful here. Again, if you don't know how to read these candlesticks, you might find yourself in a situation where you might think the stock is going lower. All right, you might think the stock is going lower, and you could find yourself, getting yourself out of a trade because you're impatient and not letting the trade develop. Not letting the trade develop. And you'd be surprised how many, because I know at the beginning when I used to, like 20 minutes after making a trade, I'll be like, damn, I'm down. Like, oh, it's going against me. 40 minutes later, and then I'm selling. And then sure enough, an hour, 2 hours, maybe a day later, if I would have stayed in, that trade would have worked out. You'd be surprised how many people lose out on money because they literally start watching the ticker, right? And then, those minutes feel like hours, and they, literally psych themselves out of the trade. All right, taking a loss when a little bit of patience would have got them some good green. But not bad, EGLE. And as you can see here, you would have thought that this was, time to get out. But as you can see here, the CCI indicator is saying it's well above the zero, still well above the zero. So, obviously strong buying pressure. All right. So even if I got in, buying pressure cooling, but I'm still over the zero. So I'm still pretty good. Cooling. I'm still over the zero. All right. And then again, my stop loss, whatever your stop loss is, accounts for that. Your stop loss should account for the fact that sometimes the trade is not going to work out for you at the beginning. All right. So you shouldn't be psyching yourself out before the stop loss. And then, it would have worked out really great for you toward the end of the day. All right. And by the way, on the CCI indicator, the pressure of the buying doesn't necessarily indicate how high the stock will go. Doesn't necessarily indicate that. All right. This is high intensity buying, which is, again, verified by the collared volume bar indicator. But as you can see here, low volume, but still, buying, and it's still going higher. And then we got a confirmation here on large purchases being made here. Not bad. Yes, indeed. Bad Scientist, you said add VWAP. You're a big fan of VWAP, man. I don't get VWAP, bro. I got too many indicators here as it is. This is it for me now. This is my daily chart now. This is my daily chart right now. This is it. This is the. I think I still need that one more confirmation, but for the most part, this is it. Let's look at R log. Okay, R log. Rand Logistics up 12%, 10%, 10 cents today. Now, what was this up higher for? Because stocks like this don't run just because. Or is this? Okay, it's another shipping play. Okay, another shipping play. Okay, so again, this is another stock that's up because of the whole dry situation. Got it. ORIG, another shipping. All right, so interesting. This is ORIG. Now, is ORIG shipping though? It says oil, gas, and drilling. So I'm not sure if it's shipping. If anybody can confirm that, let me know. All right. You said you were looking at the Tim Sykes DVD. The L2 is a good indicator. I'm not sure what you mean by the L2. Oh, or you mean level 2? That level 2 is a good indicator. Or the L2. Is there an indicator called L2? Maybe I'm. We'll see. Craig G, you said too many indicators can fuck up trades. Yeah, depending on how you use them. For me, these are confirmations. Confirmations. As you can see here, I'm going to take the CCI off, but this is the confirmation right here. So let's say buying pressure, obviously above the zero. Anything positive above the zero in the CCI. Again, this is not how the CCI comes up. made some adjustments to it. But this is a buying pressure, right? We're above zero. And then we're seeing it confirmed here with the 10-day moving average. So we're above the 20-day. So the shorter time period is showing increased buying average over the longer time period. So we're green there. And then, of course, the colored bar showing that there is solid buying coming into the stock. And I would stay in the trade as long as the 10-day stays above, and of course my CCI stays above in positive territory. And that would have been a good trade until it proved otherwise. All right, and that would have been an exit, and you still would have been profitable as that, right? Obviously, I probably would have got out a little higher than that, though. But it would have been a positive trade. All right. Yeah. It doesn't always work out that perfect. I mean, it's easier to say in hindsight. It's easy to say in hindsight, but it works accordingly. It works accordingly. All right, and I love how this stock is dancing right over on the 200 like that. ORIG, not bad. What's that, Gale? What? Oh no, because they reverse split. When you type that in, I'm like, Gale 1,500%. Yeah, Gale. Gale, look, they're going to get eaten alive now. I mean, reverse splits are, reverse split is like a girl with big tits walking in the middle of a, gym, and pulling her shirt off. That's basically what a reverse split is to shorters. You know what I'm saying? So, they're going to eat the stock alive now. So, I would stay far, far away. And as you can see here, they're just going to eat the stock alive. And we're below zero, so intense selling pressure in the stock. Now, we're going to have some covering, and that's why I don't believe that this is a turning around situation. This is just covering. All right, guys holding all day and then covering toward the end of the day. But this stock will be going lower. Okay. It's Gale is not worth $3.54. It's just not. All right. I don't even know why they got that high, but it's not worth that much. Where they are right now in terms of a company, it's no, not at all. No, these are all just regular moving averages or standard moving averages. I guess that's what they're called. These are not exponential moving average lines. All right. Let me see what else was up here that I want to bring to you guys' attention. KSHB, Kush Bottles. Kush Bottles, now this is a very interesting company because this is a stock that isn't necessarily high up there in terms of volume, but has been slowly kind of creeping up there. And Kush Bottle markets and sells packaging products and solutions to customers operating in the regulated medical and recreational cannabis industry. So another weed play, very tight float here. Very, very, very tight float. This is a stock that was running, like many others until obviously, the election. But again, last Friday was very, very good for the stock. Today, that's when it really kind of did its thing, and 6% higher today for Kush Bottle. So this is a stock that I would put on my watch list. Kush Bottle, KSHB. All right, very, very good. Stock setup right here. All right, I think I got according to OTC markets, only 9 million shares floating. Only 9 million shares floating, but it is looking to see some, turnaround situation there in the volume. We'd love to see that volume get a lot higher than where it is right now. Still about $1 million traded in the stock, so it's nothing to, lower your head at, but it's just not up there yet to, where you'd want to see the stock be at. All right. This insane monster keeps running. BTUUQ. This is a stock that I know Connor has been watching. He's made some good money in this. BTUUQ still putting up just absolutely insane numbers. 12% today. And again, when when a $13 stock goes up double digits like that, I mean, that's just insane. BTUUQ, $1.50 a share today. It's not a cheap stock anymore, man. It's not the $7-8 stock that it was, just a week and a half ago. Now it's double digits, and surprisingly, it's staying up there. It's not really coming down. It's not really coming down. Obviously last week, toward the end of the week, there was some profit taking, as you can see here, dipping below the 200. But now, after, a strong day today, here's our morning today. So obviously we're still below the 200, but really nice, interesting, as you see here on the CCI. We started up the day, and then you got the confirmation, boom, above the 100. This is positive territory. And as you can see here, positive buying throughout the day. And looks like, what is that, earnings? Well, is that tomorrow? So is earnings out? I'm not sure if this is an estimate. So is earnings tomorrow? I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that one, but we'll see. It looks like they got earnings here listed as negative $2 a share for earnings, but we'll see if that's accurate or not. But good confirmation here on this CCI. And as you can see here, the CCI caught that selling here. All right, gave you at least a little bit of a chance. Obviously, the 20-day moving average caught it a little bit earlier to allow you to let you know if you wanted to even get out. But we'll see. BTUUQ, another stock that's running. Oh yeah, somebody had put up that the Brazil stock, that 000 Brazil stock. I want you guys to look into this Brazil play. Now, this is a gold play, and I think that other one was gold as well, BRIZF. Now, this is a stock that was running aggressively not too long ago. I think it had a much better summer than it's had a fall so far anyway. As you can see here, it had a really aggressive summer, BRIZF. But things have turned around for the situation. The situation has turned around. But I think now, we could be seeing some change here. We could be seeing some change here. Now, still looks bearish. Still looks very bearish. So keep in mind. But I would like you guys to watch this stock because they do have really great management. This is a stock that I told you guys is headed by a very young CEO. This is not the SZSMF. This is another guy. I think he's an Arab dude, rich Arab dude. And let me check. Let me give you guys the website here. Really put together. They're actually doing legit things. They trade on the highest tier of the OTC markets. So they are honestly preparing themselves to one day trade on, an exchange like the NASDAQ or the NYSE. That is a goal, and they have set that as a goal for themselves. So, that's Brazil Resources. So still looks very bearish. Not saying that it's not, but it is a stock that once a turnaround becomes imminent or becomes, you start seeing signs of a possible turnaround, I would want to be in this stock. I would really want to be in this stock. And hopefully I don't see gold recovering anytime soon. That's the unfortunate thing. But we'll see. R.W. Perry, you said any Cuba stocks? I do not have any Cuba stocks right now. If you want to talk about Cuba stocks, I think you got to talk right now infrastructure play. And if we're talking about infrastructure, you've got to go with some of the national carriers. And right now, I really like Sprint. And I know some people were saying, well, I want something that's a little bit more direct, a little bit more, hands-on when we talk about Cuba and moving forward. Now, we gotta see whether or not, obviously, the Obama administration was warming up to Cuba. Well, we got to see that confirmation through the Trump administration. We got a new president right now, folks. And I do like the fact that he's cool with Putin. So that tells me he's going to be cool with Cuba. All right. For those of you guys who don't know your history, Cuba is basically the little brother of the Soviet Union out here in the Caribbean. and the Soviet, I'm calling it the Soviet Union, of Russia out here in the Caribbean. And Russia till today, although not what like it used to be, but they do have a significant influence on how Cuba does business and Cuban relations with America, because those ties go back almost 70 years now, really, almost 100 years. So, but I would like maybe something a little bit more broad, like a Sprint. And Sprint, by the way, did a huge day today. Sprint did a huge day today. Shout out to Sprint. Sprint, and I don't even know where this came out from. I mean, why Sprint was up today. If somebody can tell me, let me know, because I didn't see any significant news to drive Sprint up like that. But these are companies that come out with news like all the time. So, I mean, if you're looking for news, you're always going to be find it on Sprint. But shout out to Sprint, man. And, I was a really big fan of Sprint earlier in the summer, and I still am. But again, when it dipped under that 200-day moving average, again, I wish I was using the indicators on the show a lot earlier, because we would have been able to at least understand why Sprint was losing money. Here, as you can see, we're under the 200-day. And again, I'm using the 5-day. I'm using the 5-day, 5 minutes. All right, 5-day, 5 minutes. And, this move higher here, above the 200, it stayed above there, and that would have been a really good entry for somebody. And again, you got to really believe in your indicators, because I understand that sometimes as you're watching the ticker, crawl over a line or just over a symbolic point, you're not sure to believe in it. But looking at the way these stocks trade, especially these mature companies, when the indicator says something, it's good to believe it. It's good to believe it, especially when you're dealing with companies this mature. All right. Now, it could really fuck you over on OTC stocks. It could fuck you over on stocks that are promoted. But when you're talking about mature, publicly traded companies, your indicators are very, very accurate for the most part. All right. Nikhil, you said, haven't really heard of Russia down here. Well, I understand. I mean, look, Russia doesn't play a part in Cuban relations like they used to. Not at all, especially after the fall of the Soviet Union. But we can't deny that Cuba is what it is today because of what Russia did for that country. I mean, if it wasn't for Russian support, Fidel Castro wouldn't have lasted, 5 years. You got to remember this, the CIA and the Johnson administration, the Bay of Pigs and all that crap, they were trying to tear him down. It was Soviet money, Soviet influence, Soviet power that kept him in power all those years. And by the time the Soviet Union fell apart by 1991, you had Clintons coming in, and they just didn't care about what was going on in the Soviet Union. They just didn't care. All right. All right, so let's see. Select Start, you're saying AUPH? AUPH. AUPH, okay. All right, there you go. Looks like something happened over there on the 9th. Again, follow me here on the 5-day, 5-minute chart. Not bad. AUPH, strong over the 200-day moving average. What's going on over there at AUPH? Looks like since the 10th, since last week, Thursday, AUPH, very aggressive. Look, what is that? That's almost 70 cents a share right there in AUPH. Strong move. CCI is still showing very strong buying pressure over the 100, over the 0 line. So a lot of strong buying pressure in the stock is here. You see a lot of accumulation going on here. A lot different from what we saw a couple weeks ago. But I'd like to find out what happened there on the 10th. I don't see anything on the news. I see a lot of conferences. Okay, earnings came out November 8th. But, actually earlier than that. And it actually was a loss. So, yeah, I'd like to find out what's driving that higher. AUPH 335, not bad. Not bad, AUPH. Not bad. Very interesting. Good play, Select Start. Good play on AUPH. Shout out for that, man. You know, not bad. AUPH. Put it on there. I'm going to put that on the watch list too for tomorrow. That could be a solid move higher. Obviously, 7% on your money. That's a solid day trade right there. I mean, now this is a couple of days, so let's see what it did today. But still not bad. I mean, this is the intraday. This is an intraday move. Let me see if I can make it a 5 minute, because there's a tendency to want to. Okay, the 5 minute 1 day. All right, this is not bad. It's not bad. This is a 5 minute 1 day. As you can see, buying tends to slow up towards the end of the day, which is expected. But you say the gap up here in the morning. You don't want to get caught up in that, because you see the gap up in the morning. Obviously, when all the orders fill, the stock comes back to normal. So 30 minutes in, you're like, fuck it, I'm not doing anything and just watching. And sure enough, 10-day over the 20 and stayed up there for the majority of the day. You see here, we get the turnaround where buying starts to slow down. But the indicator didn't catch this. It didn't catch that downward move. But thank God you've got the 10 and the 20 to catch that for you. Because the CCI looks like it failed you there if you would have got in too late or too early. Actually, too late. If you got in too late, you would have found yourself red there. So that's why you got to have more than one indicator. You got to have more than one, so you would have been able to see that. Okay, but for the most part, there was accumulation. It was accumulation in the stock. So not bad. AUPH. Good play. Good play. CANB. Let me see. AUPH. I'm going to put that on the list too. That's a nice one. I want to watch that tomorrow as well. Okay, so another cannabis play. This is the 1 day chart on that. And, for a lot of weed stocks today, it was a good day. It was just a good day to just put your money in and just let it ride. Put your money in and just let it ride. And this is going to be a solid week for a lot of, OTC stocks in weed. I really think this is going to be a very solid week. I think we're going to be looking at a lot of new highs being created this week, because we really don't have a reason for a decline. We really don't have a reason moving forward for a decline in a lot of these stocks. There is no catalyst to the downside. All right. Everything now moving forward is all about, okay, now that these states have approved marijuana, Florida, California, and a couple others. In fact, if I can get that list, I think I put out an article last week of all the stocks that approved marijuana. I should have bookmarked it myself. Let me see here. Stocks. Let me see. States that legalized weed 2016. Okay. Yeah, and for those of you guys who don't know, weed went 8 for 9. 8 out of the 9 states. 8 out of the 9 states ratified it. I want to get the... So they got it in Maine, Massachusetts, Nevada. Oh, man, that's going to be big. Recreational marijuana in Nevada, that's huge. That's huge. Unfortunately, Arizona, it was so shocking when Arizona didn't pass it. When Arizona didn't pass it, dude, I was shocked, because you want to talk about a state that needs help right now? It's Arizona. That state needs a lot of help. Don't be fooled about what's going on out there in Arizona. Their economy is shit. You got a lot of rich people and you got a lot of poor. Very little of a real middle class in Arizona. It's like very separate. You got rich and then you got, everybody else in Arizona. And that state needs, something like marijuana to get the economy going over there. For anybody who's been out there, you know what I'm talking about. GRNH. Because in Arizona, you got the rich people who've showed up, and built magnificent homes and, on land that's like dirt cheap. And then you've got everybody else who was already there, who can't afford to go anywhere else. GRNH, you saying it's a weed play as well, 12%. Green Grow Technologies. Oh, of course, yeah, Green Grow Technologies. GRNH. 3 dispensaries in Vegas, Chris Ryan. That's what's up. Oh, that's TRTC. 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 Again, this is one of the more legit plays out there. TRTC is one of the more legit plays, along with SRNA and a couple other ones that are more legit. Somebody was asking me, do you think MJNA is legit? And I can't answer that question. I mean, they got significant, if somebody can tell me if they have significant operations of MJNA, I would love to know that. I know MSIG. MSIG is legit. MSIG is I've literally watched somebody use MSIG products. What else? CVIS. I think it's CVIS. CVIS is I've seen somebody literally order something right off there, showed up in the packaging, ready to go, with express shipping very next day. CVIS is another one. In fact, what did they? Was it CBIS? Sorry, CBIS. CBIS. All right. So there are a lot of legit plays out there. A lot of legit weed plays. TRTC again is again one of the more legit ones out there, and again another one that recovered really nicely last week. Another great day for the stock, and we'll hopefully see that go back to 50. I'd love to see TRTC because these are the leaders of the pack, and I'd love to see this stock go higher. I'd love to see the leaders of the pack really from now on start taking charge, start taking charge, because these are the companies that are really going to, send, marijuana into a legitimate, business operation, a multi-billion-dollar, cause. All right, SRNA. This is another one that I think, now I think you're getting at a really good discount right now. You're going to probably get it right now at a really good discount. This is a stock that got really beat up after the elections. I mean, it lost damn near, almost 30-40% of the value in the stock. And I think now, after what it did today, it looks like we're going back above the 200. SRNA could be a nice pull for somebody, but I'd like to see some confirmation. All right, but I mean, this is the 5-day. It's rough. Very, very rough last week for a lot of weed stocks, but especially SRNA. All right, so we'll see what happens with that stock moving forward. Yes, indeed. All right, what are all the public weed companies in those new states? It's gonna. I know we already had somebody in the chat room said TRTC is in Nevada. I don't know of any publicly traded company. Somebody's trying to call me. I don't know if that's 914. Try to call me back. You're only letting it ring like one time. 914. I don't know if that was you. No? Oh, no, not 914. I don't know. I thought it was somebody trying to call me. But anyway, SRNA, yeah. So we'll see. EFFI is in Florida. EFFI is in Florida. EFFI. EFFI though too, man. What's going on with EFFI? Again, another stock that's a little bit late to to the Return of the Jedi party, man. This is a stock that's a little bit late, but don't sleep on EFFI though, because you guys remember EFFI. This was a stock that was putting up stupid numbers 2-3 weeks ago. This was a stock that was 30, 60, 70% days. I remember those. I really remember those, and I wouldn't sleep on EFFI. In fact, looking, on this chart right now, I think it's actually a safe entry. At these levels. Looks like it's got firm support right there at point 0035, and I think you're only probably going higher from here. You're only going higher from here. And let me see here if we can confirm that. Let's go a month out. Yeah, I think we've got very nice support here. I think we've got solid support here at 0.0035 to move higher. And even in the 30s, so you have 0.0030, you got very solid support for you to bounce higher in EFFI. Not bad. Yeah, but I would love to see some buying taking place, though. As we can see here, a lot of, but that's last week. That includes a lot of last week. See some accumulation happening a little bit this morning. But I'd love to see, this stock start moving. All right. So EFFI is in Florida. Thank you for that, Arnie. I appreciate that. That's good to know. All right. PEIX, the ethanol play from PEIX. Again, I'm still on the 5-day, 5-minute chart. Okay, so nice that it's now we're over 200. Looks like, again, we've crossed the zero line here on the 200, on the 100 moving average, on the CCI, excuse me. We've crossed this buy sign here, the zero line, showing positive buying in the stock. Do you guys want to, you want me to show you how I set this up, the CCI indicator? Because this doesn't show up like this on TradingView when you start it up. So if you guys want me to show you, I'll make a video about it by the end of the week, because I wanted to use this week to really confirm it. But if you do, let me know. But if not, then we'll just go on. But PEIX, I do like how it's crossed over that. This was a stock that I was following earlier. As you can see here, these are some of the old lines that I made on the stock. But I was following this as a short. And I ended up moving into something else. But CCPEIX, if this is a turnaround situation, it could be. It could be. As you can see, though, this is the 1 month chart, so it doesn't look, just still shows a very early turnaround situation on the 1 month. Obviously, your indicators are going to say different things on different times. All right. But that's none of your concern, because if you're trading on, a 5-day chart, obviously you want some kind of confirmation on maybe a longer time period. But if you're not going to be holding it for that long, it really doesn't matter. You want to play your chart. And if your chart's showing positive momentum, then you play the positive momentum. Even though on a 30-day chart, it could be, bearish as hell. But not bad. We'll see what happens. Again, going back to the 5-day chart, as you can see here, it looks like, in the intraday. Let's see what's going on. This is the 1 minute. I don't like 1 minute. All right, so the 5 minutes. See how the difference between the 1 minute and the 5? Okay, so there it is actually. Because the five includes few more days. All right, so the band gets tighter. But here's the 1 day 5 minute chart, and that's kind of when we talk about learning those candlesticks. And I got to get a lot more serious on learning the candlesticks, because you're going to be able to not only depend on your indicators, but also depend on, what these candlesticks are saying to you. All right. You said, do I like ethanol stocks? I need to learn more about, what ethanol is and how it fits in. Ethanol was really big. I want to say like 06 to like 08. If you guys remember, at the time I was living, of course, in Detroit. A lot of cars came out and they were all E85 and, all of that bullshit. But I haven't heard too much of E85 anymore. I haven't heard too much of E85, much anymore. All right, so I see you guys are saying yes for the indicator. So I'm going to go ahead and remove CCI on the indicator. All right, so let's go ahead and delete it. So it's gone, right? So I only got my other ones left. So, okay, so you're in TradingView, whether or not you got the free version or the pro version for $24.99 a month, you can use the CCI indicator. All right, the free version just as fine. Free version is delayed, I believe, so you can't get, unless, I think Forex is free, though. I think Forex might be free, something like that. All right, so, of course, you're going to right-click, insert indicator. All right, you're going to type in C. You're going to actually type in the actual, CCI doesn't come up. So you actually type in commodity, and it's going to be right there. COM really puts it up. Commodity Channel Index. I'm going to save that. Commodity Channel Index. You're going to press it. Boom. All right, so this is how the Commodity Channel Index looks when you first implement it onto your screen. All right, it looks just like this. Let me move it up a little bit so you guys can see it better. All right. I like volume all the way in the bottom. All right, so first thing first, we're going to format it. And now we're going to talk about the length of days. You can play around with this, but I've noticed 100 days to be very accurate. And playing with it over the weekend, looking at the charts, I tried 20, I tried 50, tried 70, 80. I felt like 100 days just was more accurate than the other ones. All right, so 100 to close. I don't like doing to open for any indicator. I don't like to open because open, you got orders coming in. I just prefer close. All right, so here's the style. Now the way it works traditionally is you're to stay between the 100 and 100 positive and 100 negative. I've noticed that's confusing, and honestly, I don't think it works as well, in my opinion. All right, in my opinion, I like the brown line. That's fine with me. I like to make my line darker. So what I do is I remove the background. I don't care about background color. I remove the lower band. All right, so that lower band, get rid of that negative 100 line. Because in traditional CCI, they believe that if the stock goes underneath negative 100, it's time to sell or it's time to short. But I figured out one line can do the very same things two lines can do. All right, so now the upper band, I'm going to keep the upper band line. All right, I'm going to turn that into a solid line. And instead of a positive 100, I'm going to turn that into 0. Right? So instead of negative 100, positive 100, just put a 0 line. All right? So anything above means positive buying, and anything negative means it's negative, selling. It's selling pressure. So I'm basically doing the same thing, but a lot easier for myself to read because I will be instantly able to see, buying and selling pressure. All right. So I got my 100, made my line darker. All right. And then of course, solid line and okay. And there it is. There it is. All right. So CCI indicator. And as you can see here, just looking at where it is now. All right. This is the 100 line. All right. This is the 0 line. So anything again, below 0 is selling. Above 0 is buying. All right. And it's very, very accurate. All right. So as you can see here, this is, strong selling. All right. Confirmation. We're above the 0 lines here. So obviously, it got this one a little bit late, but it lets you know we're going negative. So negative pressure, negative, negative, negative. Caught this one positive here, but so far not strong enough, doesn't hold. All right, so still playing with it, but so far, it's really good. It's really good. All right, messing with it. This is 100 days, so I'm still playing with it around to see if maybe I can get it to act a little earlier, but we'll see. We'll see. Christian, you said if you type CCI, it still comes up. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's perfect for swing trades. It's perfect for swing trades, and let me see here. If you like options, it's really strong for that. As you can see here, this is the gold spider gold shares. So if you zoom in a little bit on options, as you can see here, you would have been able to confirm strong selling pressure throughout the week in the gold. So you would have been able to say, okay, I'm going to buy some puts here, and as long as it doesn't cross the 1 to 0 line, it's going negative for eternity. It doesn't matter. So as you can see here, crossing a little bit of buying, we got back in to negative territory. So it works really, really good for established companies, even OTC stuff. You might want to zoom out a little bit. Let me zoom out a little bit because this is really tight. Obviously, I'm not going to go in that much. But let's see. This is 5 days fine. All right. And maybe Sprint isn't the best one to use, but confirmation of buying pressure throughout the day. And this is a 5-day chart. Little bit of selling, little negative momentum, increased buying, staying above the 0 line. Anything above 0 is buying. Everything below 0 is selling pressure. All right. So yeah, it's going to take some time to play with, but I mean, you guys can play with it. You might find 30-day works better, and if you do, please let me know. There's more than enough money out here for everybody, so that's why sometimes when people call up and, hey man, I don't want to tell you my special indicator. Dude, there's enough money for everybody out here who needs it. Why it's my indicator, works 90% of the time and I don't want to tell anybody. Chill the fuck out, dude. Like, just relax, man. If you make $10,000 in the trade, I can almost guarantee you that another 50, 60 people could have made the same 10 grand on that trade, just like you. When you bank on the trade, there are other people who bank with you. People realize that, right? It's not just you. So if you got some information, share it with others. And in fact, what I've learned is that the more I share, in fact, the more I learn. The more information I share with people, the more I learn and the better I get. That's what I've noticed. So anyway, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. So let's put together the list real quick. Let's put together our list real quick of stocks for tomorrow. This is the Sprint. Obviously, Sinclair, I don't know if you're still in Sprint or not, but man, that was a beautiful, beautiful day today in Sprint. 7% gain today in Sprint. Expensive stock, though, not the cheapest stock in the world at $7 a share. So I know many of you guys wouldn't jump on something like that, but overall, really good day for Sprint. And look, for tomorrow, I'd be dumb to tell you to look anywhere else but, weed and continuation of shipping. The continuation of this insane rise in shipping is ULTR still out there? Is ULTR running? Yeah, look at that. ULTR. This is a stock that I've forgotten about. But have you guys forgotten about ULTR? Have you guys forgot about ULTR? Because that's running crazy too. It's OTC. That's running insane too. And let me see here. This isn't. Let me go back to the 5-day. You see, the volume is still, the volume isn't there yet. But I would watch ULTR tomorrow. 50% today, 47% to be exact. On volume that really wasn't that great. right? Only 500,000 shares traded at 19 cents a share. So that's not a lot of orders. But I would expect ULTR to really, I would expect the stock to maybe double that tomorrow. My volume indicator. The volume indicator is okay, sure. The volume indicator. Okay, so the volume. Let me exit out the volume indicator. So the volume indicator. Right click, insert indicator. All right, it's called the colored volume bars. It's by a guy named, he works under Lazy Bear. I can give you the link to all his indicators too. I'll give you that. Remind me of that. So you just type colored volume bars, and then type in, and then just go ahead and click it. All right. So that's colored volume bars, and as you can see, it's really good because it gives you a visual representation of volume and its strength. All right. Volume and its strength. So as you can see here, you can barely see it on this chart because of the fact that there's not a lot of volume in the stock. There's not a lot of volume in the stock. So let me jump into another stock with a lot of volume, CHK, to show you a better representation. And there it is. Do you see that? This is a stock with a lot of volume. As you can see, I play this regularly during the day because I love playing CHK. Because it's so volatile. You can get in and get out, very liquid, and make very good money intraday in the stock. But yeah, as you can see here, this is the 5-minute chart intraday. This is the 5-minute intraday chart. All right. So as you can see here, this is my zero line in the CCI. This is the CCI is my colored, and as you can see here, it shows you a visual representation of buying and selling volume. So as you can see here, it's confirming a lot of selling pressure. Selling. All right, so boom, we're making some moves here. All right, green bar, we got some buying pressure here. It's being confirmed in a solid, gosh, I know the name of this candlestick. I haven't memorized them yet. Trust me, I'm going to get to a point where I start memorizing this shit. All right, but I don't want to make the show too damn complicated. But I do need to start growing for y'all, so start getting better at the candlestick stuff. But so now as we cross, and now the 10-day goes over the 20-day, all right? And, of course, the CCI is also confirming buying into the stock. And obviously with the light blue still says, it's not the dark green, but it's still good. Still good buying. So we got 3 indicators confirming positive momentum. All right. And then now we're crossing the zero line. So now this is confirmed positive buying. Volume is confirmed still positive buying. We still have the green 10-day line over the red day line, 10-day moving average over the 20-day moving average. So short term, we still are showing strong buying in the stock. And as you can see here, that would have been a great move for somebody into the play. Mr. Lloyd, what's going on with you, man?
What's up, man? That's a bullish engulfing that you was trying to call out.
Oh, bullish engulfing. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to get better at that, man. I need to learn that because I really think this science you was talking about, man, is the shit. I really do.
Yeah. The problem is there was no confirmation. Yeah, there was a doji that was a following candle, and actually, if you were looking at Steve Neeson videos, is that a day chart? Because you can't. Reading the candles, he promotes the day chart instead of the 5-minute or 10-minute chart. So if you look at the day chart,
this is a day. Yeah, this is the day chart, the 5-minute day chart.
No. As far as a 1-day chart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is one day. Yeah, this is 1 day right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. That looks pretty good, man. Actually, I came across a ticker that popped up on my end. I think it broke resistance. Well, if it breaks resistance, it's on the move tomorrow. So I don't know if you guys talked about Kilo Oscar Papa Nancy, KOPN.
KOPN. No, we didn't talk about this. And Coppin Corp. Okay, so this is a company that I haven't heard about in a while. Let me fall back a little bit. Okay, so it looks like last week it really kind of took off on the 10th, and it's been up there nicely. What about this company that you've been liking so far?
Oh man, I'm just purely looking at the chart. I'm not. There's nothing fundamental that I'm looking at. And if you go to a, I'm looking at a. I'm looking at a 5-day 5-minute chart. So if you go to the 5-day 5 minutes, you can see that little. The high it was at 243. What day was that? That's the 52-week high. Anyways, if it breaks 243 tomorrow, it's good to go. I mean, that's just a resistance level that is holding that. It looks like it closed above the resistance level. 242. So,
yeah, see, it's really up there, huh?
So I don't know how anybody else feels about it, but we'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully, I can finally get my predictions down right, man. I've been getting my arsenal together, so I'm hoping to focus more on these type of, focusing more on getting my tools together so I can make better analysis instead of adding more to the box.
Sure.
So,
yeah, no, I mean, it's really solid. Actually, confirmed buying in the stock, not bad.
Is that it's a stair step, but does it look like a bull flag a little bit? Let me see.
It could. I mean, it looks like it might be. It's not as square as it probably should be, but.
Okay. I'm just seeing shit, I guess.
But I mean, look, it's confirming the buying. I mean, the buying it's solid. It's a solid short term.
And CCI is up too.
Yeah, it's a solid short term buying is seen in the stock, and it's not bad. Not bad.
Cool, man. How was your trading day?
Oh, good, man. Solid days. I mean, I'm following the easy money, man. The easy money right now. It's DRYS. It's the marijuana MJNA. Waiting for OWCP because I think OWCP could turn around. EFFI is another one as well. But yeah, solid day today, man. I'm just staying where the money is. I'm not venturing out, although I feel like I'm missing some of the stuff that's running. A lot of these overspill shipping plays I should be in as well, but for the most part, there's a lot of money to be made out here if you just concentrate on a few of the, few shares here and there.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you that I put in a trade this morning, and hopefully I can be consistent with this. I put in a trade this morning for CPA for Option House. I bought 5 calls. I think I spent $1,300 for the $85 call, and by the end of the day, man, I was up $550.
Damn.
So, I mean, it just amazes me, man. How I didn't take the profits on it. It's just paper trade. I didn't take the profits, but it's. I'm trying to be consistent with picking out these charts and hoping to basically set my trade and forget about it and not have to look at it every 5 minutes. So, but I mean, stocks are good too, man, and options is great. It's good to be versatile in these things as well.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, Connor's been showing me too that options does work great. The only thing about options is, it's just the fact that, you are under so much time pressure, and time value has so much influence on how fast, how valuable, your return is. I mean, how high your returns are and stuff like that. So, but so they're good and bad about both. But I agree with you. I could see why you would want to do something a little bit more stable or something a little bit more different.
Right. I was listening to Option House on my way back from Canada. Option Alpha, excuse me. On my way back to Canada, they got this little talk show series on what do you call it? What's the hub, whatever you call it thing, where you can hear radio shows or whatever the case may be. Anyways, this guy is saying that he can pick his stocks without even looking at a chart. He thinks charts are going to be obsolete when it comes to trading because yes. And I will send you that episode.
Yeah, send me the link of that. He said charts are going to be obsolete because of what? How?
Yeah, so I will give you the time frame. Give me a couple minutes when I get off. and maybe you want to play it for the people. But yeah, he's saying that people are trading options without even looking at the chart. I'm thinking that's amazing to me.
Well,
so he thinks.
Well, if you trade commodity ETFs, like for example, commodity ETFs go with the underlying, commodities that they're based off of. So if you're trading stuff like, silver, gold, Brent oil, or natural gas, and those are down, you can almost guarantee that the ETFs will be down. So you wouldn't even need to look at the chart for that. But I can see where he says with what he means by that. But I mean, for example, Sprint today, if you would have bought, Sprint options, you wouldn't have known that the stock was going to do that. I mean, so without looking at the chart. So I don't know what he's talking about. I mean,
yeah, I'll post that link in the chat room, man. But yeah, man. Thanks for inviting me on, man, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the call.
All right, thanks. All right, bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Mr. Lloyd, always with a good call. Shout out to Mr. Lloyd for the call, man. Yes, indeed. And, look, I mean, charts have been used for over, thousands of years. So in Japan, and, I think that's where we got candlestick charts. I mean, thousands of years in Japan. So the idea that charts will go away, I sincerely doubt that. Charting has always been the method that we use to, because when you look at a chart, you're looking at thousands of transactions, right? That's all it is. It's just thousands of buys and sells throughout the day, visualized for you by the computer to help you, see what's going on with whatever it is you're looking at. So unless we're going to come up with a new way to see that, I don't know what he's talking about. Yes, indeed. All right. Yes, indeed. So Coppin, put in Coppin. I'm going to put that on the list for tonight. I'm already creating my list right now, and unless we haven't seen any, stock that's been up huge, I want you guys to. I'm gonna put that in the chat room here in just a moment, but I want to do one more search of anything else that we might have missed. Let me see here. This just want to see. The big gainers, obviously Dries was number one. We didn't even really get to EC. I mean, did you guys see EC as well? EC? It's another shipping company. Again, these shippers are just going insane right now. Let me see. Look, what was that one-day chart like? This is EC. This is EC for the day today. All right. Look at that confirmation of buying pressure, man. That's awesome. All right, volume pretty much wasn't, because volume still was sketchy, as you can see here. Even the volume bars kind of tell you that volume wasn't consistent throughout the day, but it was still consistent enough to maintain buying pressure higher. We stayed above the 200. 10 was still predominantly above the 20, so short-term buying overwhelmed, price action from 20 days ago, and, for the most part, we're going higher. All right, going higher. And again, let me confirm that here. I hate the, so still not too bad, though. Still not too bad. The 1 minute gives you a little bit different of the 5. So this is the 5. This is the 5. So still going higher. Still going higher. Not as pretty, but still higher. All right. And this is EC. ESEA. ESEA. And of course, again, the stocks that we put on the list here, you can't look at all of them. We understand that. You're gonna look tonight, and you're probably gonna pick maybe 2 or 3, or maybe you already got your stocks that you like, and you just are looking for maybe another one, or maybe none at all. You just want to see what's out there. All right, but If you're not in something right now, you really need to get in something. All right, you really need to be getting in something. I understand some of you guys are learning and whatnot, but if you've already been watching the show for a very long time, I would really get in something. SGBY. All right, SGBY I do like again. Yeah, we talked about EGLE. I do like EGLE. I mean, if you look at the biggest gainer list for NASDAQ, it's pretty much all shipping. I mean, for the most part, it's just all shipping. It's pretty much all shipping. But do not forget UPLM. Do not forget UPLM. Let me see this. UTLR. There we go. ULTR. There we go. Messing my own damn stuff. ULTR tomorrow. That's my pick for tomorrow. If shipping continues, it's insane buying tomorrow. If dries continues, I think ULTR can put up another 30-40%. You put up another 30-40%. All right. Obviously, if you can afford, a couple hundred shares of dries at 22 something, by all means, go do it. I mean, if you can afford it, go do it. All right. That's a solid stock that's running very aggressively right now. All right. But I like ULTR at 19 cents a share, putting up 47% with 500,000 shares traded. I think that's a very light day for today. And I think tomorrow you're going to see maybe double that. We'll see. All right. Yeah, I like ULTR at 19 cents a share, man. At 19 cents a share, volume that really hasn't topped out yet. We'll see. But yeah, shout out to Tristan, man, for that AUPH. That's a beautiful looking chart, man. You want to talk about a solid swing. I wish I had caught this, man. That's a beautiful swing here. You got this in here. If you would have seen this, if I would have seen this, I would have played that all day. I mean, this is clearly a very bearish stock that crossed 200 and was, oversold and looking to, make amends, man. And that's a solid trade there for 70 cents a share. Solid trade. So shout out to Tristan for that. Not bad. All right. So I don't want to keep you guys up too much longer. There's the list for tomorrow. Let me put that in. Again, it's not everything we looked at. Craig G said 3-month chart and ULTR not great. I get that, Craig, but we're not trading the 3-month chart, dude. We're trading the 1-day chart. We're trading 2 days, maybe. When it comes to OTC stock, man, you don't really want to focus that far back because you got to remember you are dealing with the pattern day trade rule, many of you, but that's not really concerned if you're doing maybe a 2-day or, maybe you're coming in late and just carrying it over for, 2 days of pressure. So it's all day trade. Yes, sir. I would not swing any of these right now. AUPH, but I'm talking about when we talk about, shipping, these shipping stocks, I wouldn't, it's day to day for those, man. It's day by day, maybe, 2 days, maybe 3 days. And obviously the chart in dries, all right, the chart in dries shows that there are people, who are sitting in here because they expect, continued gains in the stock. I mean, this is not people jumping in and out all day. Obviously, there are some people who do that, but this says that people are accumulating and holding, and that's why the stock continues to go up. If everybody's buying and selling at the same time, it wouldn't go anywhere. Well, I can't say. I can't say. You know, I can't say when I look at ULTR, because again, the stock has pretty much done nothing, which is, which is good and bad. But again, when you take the chart out a little bit, it's been so bearish, so bearish, so bearish, and now we're just now crossing. All right, we're just now crossing, and then this is the 5-day, so we're just over it. And now I think this is the launch pad to something really, really good in ULTR. I think at 19, why not 27 cents? Why not 28? Why not 30 cents? A nice little 2-day swing here. Just letting you know. And again, you don't have to take it. You don't have to take it. I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know. All right, so this is what I see tomorrow, guys. Again, mostly marijuana, understandably. Again, I like staying where the money is. I'm sure there's some swing trades out there going well, but I'm looking for short-term, gains quickly. Something that I can get in, get out, move on to the next play. All right, whether it be over 1 day or over 2 days. Right now, MJNA is going very well for me. I loved it on Friday. I'm still in it. And if you're up, you're up. I didn't catch that low 7 cents. I'll be frank with you. I did not catch that low 7 cents. But even if you didn't, if you got in, period, on Friday, you're up at least 40%. At least 40%. AMMJ, yeah, we always miss another honorable mention. I forgot about AMMJ. Look at that, man. AMMJ, I forgot about this. I always forget about AMMJ. Always forget about AMMJ. This is another one that, again, was really rough last week and showed up last Friday and, delivered today again, 40%. 40% today alone in AMMJ. Solid volume. In fact, over $4 million traded in the stock today, I believe. All right. AMMJ. And this is a company that's got really solid share structure too. I mean, it's low float. It's just got really solid share structure. So when you got great volume, it's just going to run. In fact, let me show you that beautiful 1-day chart. I believe it made today. Look at that. Oh, man. That's 1 minute, but we don't look at the 1 minute. Hold on. Let's see this. All right. This is the 1-day chart. Look at that. Look how beautiful that looks. Look, I mean, that's just beautiful. You're just hanging on top of that zero line. That's just confirmation of buying all day. All right. And then you're short 10-day moving average over the red line, and you're just sitting pretty all morning. All morning. All right, and you're over the 200, and you're not even looking at possibly coming back down. And that's kind of what you want to see is that 20-day, acting as a piggyback for that green line and just lifting those two moving averages higher, away from the 200. Not bad. All right. Not bad, not bad. Okay. And by the way, guys, this is just, again, very, very good. This is just good movement. Not bad at all. All right. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is the show for tonight. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Of course, another great episode. I hope you guys learned something today. I really hope you guys use indicators, man. I think most of you guys use indicators, but hopefully you can take, some of the indicators I've been using. Oh, before I forget, The guy who made the indicators I use, or the one indicator, and I have used some of his other ones too. Lazy Bear, because he's got another indicator I like. You guys remember the one I used to use that actually used to tell me when to buy and sell? The Get Trend strategy. I think this is another one of his. Actually, no, this isn't his. But I don't use that one anymore. But yeah, let me put out his list. This is his list on TradingView. I don't know if you can see it. There, you guys can see that? Yeah, I'm going to show you that. And again, this guy never shows his face or anything, but he's got literally 6 pages of indicators that he uses. And if you use TradingView, you can click right on it, and it'll go right to the screen. So let me put that in the chat room. There it is. It's a Google document, and if you have TradingView, and again, you know, I know all of you guys don't use TradingView, but TradingView is so powerful, man. It's getting really, really popular, and a lot of people are like just ditching their platform and just using TradingView, and then just using their platform to put in orders. And I know I like to do that because one screen is just TradingView, the other screen is the order entry for E-Trade, and that's all I do. I don't even use E-Trade Pro anymore. I don't even bother with it. It's just, you know, they just do it so much better on TradingView. But yeah, they're like almost 6 pages of indicators that he's created. And again, play with them because they're not all good, man. Some of them are pure garbage. But I found the ones that work for me. And you might find some other ones, you know, maybe some, you know, oscillators or some index indicators or WADA explosion. I don't know what this is. What is WADA Attar explosion indicator? I don't know what that means. All right. Volatility based trailing stops. I don't know what, you know. So there are a whole bunch of little indicators that he's created. You guys might like it. All right. You said VectorVest tells you when to buy and sell. That's VectorVest. I've been hearing about VectorVest since like the early 90s. I don't even know if it's accurate or not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, somebody go ahead and post up that Discord link. Have a good night, bad scientists. If anybody has access to the Discord link, post that up. Maybe some people would want to join you guys in there. I don't know if Joe Flores, have a good night, man. Have a good night. I'm sure some of you guys might want to be joined in there. Somebody can put that in there. Okay, there it is, Travi. Appreciate it, Travi. And shout out to Travi. I did see that link to the permanent one. Yes, indeed. So if you guys want to keep the talk going, talk more about stocks, there it is. It's the Discord app. Go ahead and save that. And even I think there's some guys in there during the day, also in the weekends. They go hard on the weekends over there too. Appreciate that, the Tom G. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Sinclair. Have a good night. All right, guys. Thank you so much, all my new people, old people. You know, people have been watching from the beginning. People have been watching for a week. Doesn't matter. I really appreciate every single one of you guys and what you guys bring to the show. Please don't ever hesitate to call in during the show. Whether you're new or old, doesn't matter. All right? We can all learn from each other, and that's all this show is about, man. Just trying to get better so we can get this money. And I've said here time and time again, there's more than enough money in the market for everybody, man. For everybody. All right, not everybody in the world watches this show, so whatever we learn, you know, it pretty much stays with us. All right, guys, have a good night. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow, same time, same place, hopefully with more green on these greens. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.